Good morning, everybody. So, briefly, I was recording a video yesterday and got caught up. I recovered one of my old Facebook accounts. And so, in any event, I spent a bunch of yesterday uploading just a bunch of old videos. So, forgive me for the video dump. Just stupid things of me in my house, messing around in my yard, some stuff from work. Not everything from work, but anyways, I'm like recuperating. I don't know, man. There's a few hundred videos, and so forgive the photo dump. I also, when I had, I just left the state where I'm at right now recently, so I had hidden some documents in one of my safes, and didn't know where they were at, so I reached out to the people that were filming here because I misplaced them. And anyways, come to find out, looked in the safe, found all my documents. Reached out to those guys this morning. They haven't answered me back when those videos are going to be uploaded, but in any event, I did find all my documents. When you involve yourself like with stuff like this, you get kind of paranoid because you don't know who's putting what out on YouTube or anything. The people are really cool. They contact me back. I don't know when that video is coming out. That's the bottom line. And I found my documents and I uploaded a bunch of videos. So I was editing a video yesterday. I was working on an application in an artificial intelligence application programming interface. And so I'm working on that and doing some other stuff. I got to run off to work in a little bit, but forgive me for the photo dump or for the YouTube video dump. I wanted to get that stuff up there so you guys could check it out. I'm not trying to waste your time or anything like that. If you want, like and subscribe. If not, anyways, that's kind of what I got going on. I got to bounce and get to work in a little bit. So hope you guys are having a good day. Forgive the mess on my channel right now, but I needed to do something with those videos. And there's going to be some more videos that I'll be putting up here in the next month or so. In any event, cheers, man. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So, in any event, I uploaded a live video yesterday, or was trying to, and then YouTube puttered out on it. It was about 33 minutes or something like that. It was what I was hoping to be a question and answer session, and there was one person on there that was asking questions about the lack of Mexican news sources in drug cartel grift reporting in the United States. Meaning established, credible Mexican news agencies. You'll have people like Ed come out with Indice Politico, which ironically was founded in 2016 according to their Facebook reviews, which is exactly the same time that Ed's Instagram thing was started. There's been a lot of things that have come up through the years. I've been watching Ed for a long time, and now Katerina Schultz. And so I made this live video yesterday regarding just stuff around that, but when I was trying to upload the live video, it didn't go as planned and didn't upload. That's neither here nor there. I was thinking about how important that really is, because I code for a living, and so the whole reason why I moved to San Francisco was to be around the best and the brightest minds as far as computer programming goes. And you'll get on Caltrain and you'll listen to these conversations while you're going to work about the biotech companies having large libraries of cells that they'll use to attach vaccines to, and just different things that are in this world that you really never even give a second thought to. And I know that I might be speaking Greek to a lot of people. I'm like into a lot of weird things, but the bottom line is this. I chase a lot of things because I care about them. And I've had a lot to do with it as far as like being in a Mexican vehicle with a Mexican machine gun, hunting drug cartels. And I'm going to continue doing live videos on that, to where if people want to call in, they can. But also at the same time, a while ago, I had a buddy of mine, Glenn, want me to design an application for him where someone in one city could get tired of their job and then put in a request on an application to where they could change their job in another city with someone that did a similar thing in another city. So basically, if you got tired of doing job A in Boston, you could trade it with someone that's also doing job type A in Los Angeles, and someone in Los Angeles is tired of doing their job type A in Los Angeles, could go to Boston to do their same job for a different company. And there were some problems developing that application. Primarily, one, you would have to get the buy-in from the corporations to do it. Also, there's a lot of professional secrecy, trade secrecy, or trade secret laws, to where if you're working for a company, for example, and there's non-disclosure agreements involved, which I deal with routinely, ITAR regulations involved because maybe the person's not even an American citizen. There's a lot of problems that you can run into designing that application, even though it's a great idea. And I did look at it fervently because I do like the idea of being able to just be like, you know what, I'm tired of living in San Francisco this week. Tomorrow we're going to live in Tacoma, Washington, and from there we're going to Miami. Whatever the case may be. There was a lot of problems in writing that application. Then I had another buddy that's a multi-millionaire. Well, he works for a multi-millionaire. Both of them were my friends. And he tells me, hey, behind every application you have to have a database is one of the very first things that you have. And I might be speaking Greek to you, but typically you'll use something like MySQL to populate a bunch of tables that allows you to sort an incredible amount of information. So behind every database is, or behind every application is a database, rather. What do you mean, Dave? Get to the point. He wanted me to build this application for plumbing fixtures, of all things, using cloud storage, and you could scrape the data off the internet because all of these pictures exist, I'm certain of it. And I started looking at it, and there are certain phases to developing an application. Sorry about that. I need some more coffee. So typically, the phases of developing an application would be along the lines of planning, design, development, connecting things together, and testing, maintenance, iteration, these type of things. And typically this is going to take between a few weeks and several months. And I'm going somewhere with this whole thing. I've listened to the people that are billionaires that are, a lot of them come from the tech industry, to where basically what you do is there's different levels of artificial intelligence that you can use already. A lot of you guys will go online and you'll ask ChatGPT, OpenAI, or any one of these things, Grok, etc., to inform you of certain things that you wouldn't normally know. And I mean, as you can see, I've got some books here. I've got more books. And I read them. But you'll have these open source, not open source, that's GitHub. You'll have these artificial intelligence applications that are open to anybody. You can go online right now and you can ask it anything, and it will But typically, in order to develop an application with a human, you're talking about a matter of weeks, from planning wireframes and whatnot to going through and coding everything, linking everything up, populating the databases, and then going through testing development to where you're going to debug everything. It's going to take a few weeks to a few months, maybe even a couple years, depending on how complex your application is and what it does. Now, what does that have to do with drug cartels? Well, it's got a lot to do with drug cartels. It's got a lot to do with everything because, like the politicians, you may not be interested in politics, but politicians are interested in you. They want you paying taxes, they want you obeying laws, they want you doing what they say, etc., etc. And I was watching a thing on speaking about you might not be interested in artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence is interested in you. And I'm already dealing with it at work, and a lot of people are, but what used to take a human a few weeks to a few months to develop this application, with artificial intelligence application programming interface, now takes a few hours to a couple days. And it doesn't call in sick. It has a level of intelligence that is equal to the smartest of many of us. And this isn't even the artificial intelligence super intelligence when it surpasses that of the smartest human. But I was listening to Eric Smith talk about when everybody has access to this level of intelligence. And I'm not going to say wisdom, because intelligence is a bulk of information, a group of information, if you will. Wisdom is the application of that intelligence. So you can have a whole bunch of intelligence, you can have a whole bunch of books, you can understand what it says, but if you don't know how to apply it, then you're not wise. So there is a difference between wisdom, there's a difference between intelligence, there's a difference between creativity, so you can be book smart, know mathematics and whatnot, but not be creative at all. That being said, there's going to become a point where cartels and everything are the least of our worries. Palantir is doing it right now, creating a database with everybody in the United States, and not just creating a database, but uniting all of these databases together. And what they're going to do with it, I mean, the Department of Defense has contracted them, the American government has contracted them in several agencies. Chasing down Ed Calderon and Katerina Schultz and getting upset with Sean Ryan because he and Joe Rogan won't put me on their podcast even though I was working in Mexico is small potatoes. American police and governmental agents and those that think that they're the tip of the spear, you're not the tip of the spear. I'm not as fit as I was when I was in my 20s, and I'm a judoka. I can to this day practice judo. It keeps you in pretty good shape. I go out and paddleboard. I stay physically active a lot is the basic point. And the other day, I was paddleboarding. I was actually taking my paddleboard to go paddleboard, and I hear this drone flying overhead, and it was just flying at a crazy rate of speed. And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, if you had to outrun this thing, because you see the drone footage from Ukraine and whatnot, if you had to outrun this thing, if it was equipped with a weapon, if it was equipped with explosives, how would you survive that? And initially, the only thing you could really do to survive it would be to fly into tree cover, run into tree cover. And this thing was moving at a rate of, I want to say, probably, I don't want to say it was 60 meters per second, but 30 meters per second would not be far-fetched. So much faster than you're going to move is the basic point of it. So anyone that thinks that they're the tip of the spear, no matter how strong you are, no matter how many fights you've been in, I got this scar fighting several, I'm not going to get into who it was, but I was fighting several very large muscular people, and I got kicked in the face right here and opened my whole face up, and I was doing it to protect my brother, so I had a good reason. No matter how tough you think you are, artificial intelligence and drones and robots are coming for you. It's just a matter of time. Everything that we saw on Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator series, it's going to happen. And all the politicians that think that they're in control of everything, they're going away too. And the only thing that's going to be left is human creativity. Let me make sure this thing's still recording. It is. The only thing that's going to be left is human creativity. So even my horrible videos that aren't that well crafted aren't going to be something that AI is going to easily be able to replicate, because they won't replicate my mistakes. And you'll see this, like if you go online right now to ChatGPT, we're just talking. We'll just call it Sunday Morning with Dave, right? So, if you go on to ChatGPT right now and ask it to get you a college degree, it's going to tell you that it's unethical. It's going to tell you a few things. And then when you tell it, well, the police, the government, clergy members, they're all unethical. And then it's going to tell you something along the lines that you're right to point out the hypocrisy. And I know because I've done this just to see if it can be done. In fact, I was just doing it yesterday. I spent a lot of time on a computer, for professionally and otherwise. It'll tell you that you're right to point out the hypocrisy, and that the best ratio is going to be about an 80% mix of artificial intelligence doing your work with you combing over and supervising the results of it, throwing in enough human error to make it believable to where it won't be detected by AI programs or programs that are used to detect AI work. So you can use AI to your advantage, and students do. Along that line of thought, when everybody has access to the level of intelligence, remember, group of knowledge, not the application of it, group of knowledge, when everyone has access to that level of intelligence, there's going to be a huge proclivity to use it to better their own lives and their own stature, their own status in their own lives, and they're going to. They're doing it already. I go online, use AI every day. The only thing that's really going to get in the way of AI is lack of power, which are why billionaires are buying up chunks of Ohio and other places along rivers to where they can use these rivers to cool their data centers and power them through hydroelectric power. The demand for energy is going to be huge. That's the only thing that's really going to get in the way of AI. But we're not there yet. And in the meantime, when I'm sitting here trying to chase down Ed Calderon or for not using his maternal last name, or Katie Schultz for being 24 years old, being a cartel expert when she's never been shot at once in anger, or I mean, just the bullshit is just so deep. When I think about how important that is in comparison to some of the other things that soon all of us are going to be facing, it's really small potatoes. I'm going to continue doing my show. People are going to publish the episodes that they did with me or not. I apologize for the live video not uploading it. I did not delete it. That was a problem on YouTube's end about uploading that video. And I'm going to schedule probably every Saturday at about 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1800 hours. A meet and greet. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do it a little earlier so people on the East Coast can join in too. But 6 p.m., that's a little late. You know, I should do it on Mexican Central Time. That way, if anyone wants to call in from Mexico, they can too. About the cartel, you know, not to be neither here nor there, but about the cartel. If you are on patrol in Mexico, I remember the first time, you're not supposed to have cell phones while you're on patrol, because the danger of one of us working for the cartel is so great that the people in charge don't want us having cell phones. And so everyone does have cell phones. You're not supposed to, but you do. But you'll get a call from what I think is 565 area code. Let me see. What is Mexico Distrito Federal area code phone number? Yeah, it's 55 or 56. I was right. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not going to take the time. The reason why I know that is because I remember the first time I got a message from someone from that area code going out on patrol saying that they had my sister hostage. Something I personally experienced, and I had to call my wife immediately to find out if my sister-in-laws were okay. So there's things that go on in Mexico while you're on patrol that these grifters can't even possibly begin to fathom or understand. But at the same time, there's so much going on in our world, we have to stop and wonder how important it really is. I hope my videos are interesting to you. If you want to call in, I'm getting a phone number lined up to where you can call in. I'm having it separated from the rest of my stuff, obviously, for security purposes. But I want this to be an interesting, informative program for you, and I'm in a position to do so. But this is just some of the things that have been going through my mind lately, and I wanted to share it with you. And I have a hard time because my audience is primarily interested in one thing, but I have such an eclectic thing that I'm too nerdy to make a good tough guy, but I'm too tough to make a good nerd. So I'm like, my entire life I've never really been fit in groups really, because I'm too way off and out in the weeds. You got to be way out in the weeds to be a gringo in a Mexican truck or an American deep in the heart of Russia, tripping on going to OVIR to get your visa sorted out because you're supposed to be in Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk, but you're in Sterlitamak, which is a quarter of the world away. You got to bear in mind Russia's 13 time zones. So I mean, I've got all this stuff going on, and I know that I'm not like most of my viewership. And I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm not. Not at all, man. Every one of us has our own particular story. I haven't been, generally speaking, part of a group per se. So like when you're sitting in Russia watching the guy, and it was way out. There was a guy in a wooden child's desk, a Russian soldier at the OVIR office, which is basically their type of immigration police. And you're going in there to sort out your visa for 500 rubles because you're supposed to be in another oblast, Yuzhno-Sakhalin, just north of the Japanese islands, or islands that the Russians took from Japan. But you're clear the hell over in their weapons creating district on the Volga River. It's they trip out on it a little bit, and Russia's not a forgiving place. So there's a lot of things I could get into. I am going to do this video though, weekly call-in live video. I think I'm going to make it Saturday, 4 p.m. It's going to be Saturday, every Saturday at 4 p.m. barring something that I want to do, surfing or whatnot. I'm going to have a live call-in. I will update with a number that you can call in, and that way people that want to call in can call in, and I'll update that later today. I'll get that number going so you guys can call in. Maybe I'll make it more than once a week. We'll see. We'll see where this goes, because I think that people ought to have show and tell with the cartel, especially when they're saying, you have these wannabe reporters saying that they have access to all these cartel fentanyl fabrication facilities. I doubt it. I doubt it. And with other stuff going on, maybe cartel stuff will be just stuff that I do for diversion or for fun, while I'm worried about the rest of this artificial intelligence stuff. So, you know, whatever, man. You like my channel, don't like my channel. I'm not doing my channel for you. I'm doing it for me. I do it for you to be informed, but I'm doing it for myself because it's something that I want to do. So, you know, I do hope you have a great day, man. Cheers.